On the news tonight, don't kill people you want to lead, Jonathan tells politicians. Nigeria ranks 8th in list of countries with worst terrorism impacts. Police, army, others deploy 15,000 security personnel for governorship and House of Assembly election. George threatens to jail IGP Usman over alleged violation of court orders. Police summon Ihedioa Ugochinyere Imo over murder. And on sports, USA boss moves to woo Arsenal forward Balogun ahead of Nigeria. The world news is coming from BGI TV Current. For more updates, kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. I am Moriwe Rabila Lawal. The news in detail. Ahead of this Saturday's governorship and states assembly election, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has admonished politicians against do-or-die politics, saying those who aspire to rule should not force themselves on the people. Jonathan gave the admonition on Thursday at Sampo community in Kolokuma or Pokuma, local government area of Bayelsa State, shortly after paying a condolence visit to Governor Diri, who lost his father, Pa Abraham Diri. Information report that Bayelsa, the home state of former president, will conduct only the state assembly election on Saturday, while its governorship election is scheduled for November 11, 2023. Governor Diri spokesman, Mr. Daniel Alabra, told newsmen in a statement on Thursday that the former President Jonathan also stressed that politics should be about service and not about self, urging politicians to wait for God's time to get into leadership positions. Jonathan noted that in a democracy, the people played a critical role and wondered why those who aspire to lead want to force themselves on the people. He also advised people of the state to conduct themselves in a peaceful manner during the election. Moving on to the next story. Latest report from Global Terrorism Index has shown that Nigeria moved to 8th position, moving down 2 steps from its place in 2022. The report, which is published annually by the Institute for Economics and Peace, IEP, provides a comprehensive summary of the key global trends and patterns in terrorism since 2000 and attempts to systematically rank countries around and across according to terrorist activities. According to the index for 2023, a continuous decline in the number of deaths from terrorism has seen Nigeria move down the ladder of nations most impacted by terrorists. In the sub-region, Ethiopia was the most improved country in 2022, with the country continuing a record zero terrorism-related death for the 6th consecutive year. Al-Shabaab were responsible for 2 attacks in Ethiopia in 2022. However, no deaths were recorded. Nigeria recorded the largest decrease in the number of deaths from terrorism in the region in 2022. Deaths fell by almost a quarter, from 497 in 2021 to 385 in 2022, and are now at their lowest level in Nigeria since 2011. Going on to the next story for the governorship election coming up this Saturday. 15,000 security personnel, including the police, army, and other security agencies, have been deployed to monitor the governorship House of Assembly election in Oyo State on Saturday. Heads of security agencies met behind closed doors on Thursday at the police command headquarters, Ibadan, on Thursday, appraising their performance in last Saturday's presidential election. The State Commissioner of Police, Adepo Wale Williams, while reading out the communique, assured residents of the preparedness of the security agencies of effectively carry out their functions by guaranteeing the safety of life and property during and after the conduct of the election. He added that all the 6,393 polling units across the 33 local government areas will be policed effectively. Oshifiso disclosed that there would be the restrictions of human and vehicular movement between 12 midnight and 6 p.m. on Saturday. And to the next story. The National Industrial Court in Abuja has threatened to jail the Inspector General of Police, Alkali Uthman Baba, over his persistent disobedience to orders of the court. The court on Thursday held that the action of the IGP to the rule of law is unbecoming of a top-ranking federal official and an affront to the 1999 Constitution. In an enrolled order issued by the court and endorsed by Justice Oyebiola Oyewumi, the court gave the IGP May 2nd to appear before it and purge himself of contempt of court or be committed to prison in line with the provisions of the law. Justice Oyewumi in the enrolled order said the IGP, no matter his rank, is not above the law and would be made to respect the law when he acts as someone above the law. The reaction of the court followed a suit instituted by 4 senior-ranking police officers from courses 33, 34, and 35 who were compulsorily and unlawfully retired from the force. Moving on to the next story. The Imo State Police Command has summoned the former governor of the state, Emeka Vehicular, his deputy, Gerald Irona, and spokesman for coalition of United Political Parties and House of Representatives elects for Idiato North and South Federal Constituency, Ikenga, Ugo Chinyere Imo, for alleged murder, kidnapping, and arson. The invitation letter dated March 13, 2023, with the heading "Re-Case of Murder, Kidnapping, and Arson," was signed by the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of administration, Ukachi Okpara, and addressed to the chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Imo State, Charles Ogu, asking the PDP chairman to produce them on Thursday, 16 March 2023, at the State Criminal Bureau of Police Command for interrogation. Reacting to this development in a statement signed by the Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Imo State, Collins Okporozo described the development as insane and peril, while maintaining that the invitation is a calculated attempt by Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State to arrest and keep prominent leaders of the PDP out of circulation during the House of Assembly elections, scheduled for Saturday, March 18th, to enable the state government perfect the rigging of the election. From Imo State, we go to the next story. Aloy Ejimako, a counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has reacted to report that the group is ranked the 10th deadliest terrorist organization in the world. Ejimako said a report by the Global Terror Index that IPOB was the 10th deadliest terrorist group was false. He explained that IPOB was only named in the index report because the Nigerian government had declared the group a terrorist organization. In a tweet, Ejimako noted that the terrorist group cannot be registered like IPOB. He wrote, "It's false that IPOB is now ranked the 10th deadliest terrorist group in the world by the Global Index. IPOB was only mentioned as having been declared a terrorist group in Nigeria. IPOB is registered. Terrorist groups can't be registered. If you try, you will be arrested." And to the next story. Odua People's Congress has declared support for Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for Saturday's election. Speaking at a news conference, President of OPC, Otumba Wasiu Afolabi, said the governor is consumed by the passion to improve lives, adding if re-elected, he would further advance his impact. Lagos State is blessed with great administrators. Sanwo-Olu has shown himself worthy and he has made impact on the landscape, the life and the governance of the state. He urged Lagosians to vote peacefully and warned those planning to disturb the peace to desist from such acts. The leader added that the group will ensure people are not prevented from exercising their franchise. The next and last round of voting in this 2023 cycle election will hold on Saturday.
Talking about the governorship election of Lagos State, scheduled for March 18, OPC has swayed the mode and presence of its leadership and membership, and it has become clear that they will like us to throw our weight behind one of the 16 governorship candidates. To the envy of other states in Nigeria, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has shown himself to be worthy to belong to his class of industrious performances.
Welcome back. Bandits have again hit Niger State's community in a fresh attack, during which 8 people, including Army Major, 4 soldiers, 4 local vigilantes were killed in an ambush. The soldiers and vigilante members were gunned down by the bandits while on their way to recover corpses of the local vigilante members killed on Tuesday evening by bandits in the same local government area. The bandits, who were still hiding in the bush after Tuesday's onslaught on the security personnel in the area, opened fire on the soldiers and vigilante members. From that story, we go to the foreign story. The World Health Organization, WHO, has linked too much consumption of salt to heart disease, stroke, saying it can lead to death. According to a recent report under the WHO episode on Science Conversation, which was released on Friday, excessive salt consumption is the most important dietary risk factor for the global burden of disease. The report revealed that 1 in 4 adults has high blood pressure and around 2 million people die each year as a result of consuming too much salt. The Health Organization recommends a daily salt intake of no more than 5 grams, which is roughly half of what people consume on average, adding that in many high-income countries, up to 80% of salt intake comes from manufactured foods, including high-salt snacks and food consumed outside the home. Normally, the same preparation that we consume at home has less salt than the one that is produced in a restaurant. For example, just to give you an example, if you can take average bag of chips of 150 grams, only that bag of chips contains half salt of that which we are supposed to consume every day, says the report from WHO. And to end the world news from BGI TV Current this evening is the sports story. United States of America caretaker coach Anthony Hudson is trying to convince Folarin Balogun to commit his international future to the country. Balogun was born to Nigerian parents in the USA and was raised in England. The striker is eligible to represent Nigeria, USA, and England at the international level. The 21-year-old has represented both USA and England at the youth level. Balogun has also expressed his desire to play for Nigeria at the senior level. Hudson has, however, opened talks with his representative to convince the player to play for the US than Nigeria. All I will say, there is open dialogue with him and his team. That dialogue is continuing. That's all I can say. Hudson was quoted by Goal.com. Balogun has scored 16 goals in 26 league appearances for League One club state ranks this season. He is on loan at the club from Premier League giants Arsenal. That ends the world news this hour from BGI TV Current. Before we go, some major headlines. Former president, don't kill people you want to lead, Jonathan tells politicians. Nigeria ranks 8th in the list of countries with worst terrorist attack. Police, army, others deploy 15,000 security personnel for election. George threatens to jail IGP Usman over alleged violation of court orders. We're also brought to you from sports. US boss moves to woo Arsenal forward Balogun ahead of Nigeria. For more updates of our broadcast and videos, kindly subscribe on the channel BGI TV Current. Kindly click on the notification bell, select option all to access our broadcast. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Moriwe Rebila Lawal.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.